Welcome to the Global Goals Studio. I'm Richard Wolff. I'm here along with my co-anchor, Chica Adua. We're discussing gender equality with MC González Noguera, Amanda Nguyen, and Jessica Posner Odede. Amanda, much of the talk in the political sphere right now is about the economy and COVID. Have you seen a pause in your momentum, in your efforts, to fight for sexual assault survivors? And how do you ensure you can keep a spotlight on this issue at this time?
But the world has really taken a halt during this pandemic. It's unprecedented, but democracy marches on, even during COVID. And it is critical that in any crisis, that vulnerable people are not left behind. And so even, yes, the rates of sexual violence are rising. That just means that we as a community need to do our part. We need to organize, we need to keep pushing the boundaries and keep on fighting for sexual violence survivors here in America and also around the world. You know, it's, I know that everything can seem like it's on fire right now, but I want people to understand that no one is powerless when we come together, even virtually, and no one is invisible when we demand to be seen.
And MC, you've talked a lot about the necessity of childcare for women to return to work. Do you think we're doing enough to prioritize childcare as governments and business plans to come back after the economic recovery?
I think we can always do more. I think that if anything, what COVID has done is shown the light on the disproportionate impact on women. You know, number one, because women have had to take on an even bigger role at home. And number two, because women and the roles, the jobs that women have are actually most vulnerable to being eliminated because of COVID.
Jessica, at Girl Effect, you must hear every day from hundreds of young girls around the world about how they're coping with COVID-19, the unique challenges they're facing. I'm guessing that no two experiences are exactly the same. Is that right?
Absolutely. So we've just done a project called Hear Her Voice, because the Girl Effect, we believe that everything has to start with girls. And so we've talked to 25 girls across 5 countries and heard their experiences. And I would say that the experiences are actually, there's a lot of shared themes. Girls are worried about their future. They're at this critical moment of deciding what's going to happen next, wondering, will they go back to school? Will they get a job? But I think also what we're seeing is an incredible rise in the ways that girls are using technology to get access to resources and opportunity. Because we know that adolescent girls are ingenious and they are going to find a way to get the resources that they need. And today, those are going to be online and through mobile tools. And so we've done some innovative work with partners to look at that. But I think through the Hear Her Voice campaign, we've really heard girls' fears, their challenges, but also their hopes. And I would say that we need to focus both on the challenges, but also on the opportunities, and especially the power of mobile tools in this moment to unleash the power of girls and unlock what we call the Girl Effect, which is the power of girls to change the world at large.
MC, last word for you. It's UNGA Week, UN General Assembly, all the world leaders are in town. If you could speak to them all, maybe the more powerful, wealthier ones, what would you ask them to do for gender equality?
The return on an investment for women is real. Your economies will thrive, your families will be stronger, you will have a healthier and more prosperous country if you invest in women and girls.
That's great. Jessica, Amanda, the last chance for you. What would you say to the world leaders?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's 17 global goals, but one unlocks 10. And that goal is gender equality. $1 invested in giving girls access to family planning, you get the same reduction in climate change as spending $4 on solar panels. It's transformative. So 17 goals, but really there's one. And we all need to focus on that.
Completely. Yes, go
If
ahead.
I could tell world leaders to do one thing, it is that the United Nations General Assembly has never passed a General Assembly resolution that's solely on survivors of sexual violence. So there are 1.3 billion of us. Please, please give us the dignity and pass a resolution that honors that.
It's a powerful point. Jessica, Amanda, MC, thank you so much for joining us in the Global Goals studio today.
Thank
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We're going to take a short break. You're watching the Global Goals studio. Stay tuned.
The racial and economic disparities that have long existed in this country have only been widened by the coronavirus and amplified by the most recent acts of injustice. People around the world are coming together with greater urgency to demand action. At Bank of America, we know we all have a role to play to overcome the very real consequences of systemic racism and inequity. This includes individuals, governments, nonprofits, and the private sector. Racial equality and economic opportunity are deeply connected. That's why Bank of America has committed $1 billion over 4 years to address critical gaps in affordable housing, access to healthcare, employment and job skills, and the resources small businesses need to succeed. We can do more, and we need to do more now to further advance racial equality and economic opportunity for all.